Shalom, Ox and Okotis. My name is Sila bin Yisrael. I'm here today to tell y'all my dreams that I believe, me personally, that I believe the Most High gave me. It was a very realistic dream. I believe it to be a dream about Rex 84, or some people say King Alpha plane. It all started at probably around the early part of 2010. I don't know the month, but all I know it was around 2010. Me and my family, this is how the dream went. Me and my family was having a cookout outside in the front yard. And we invited all our friends, family, cousins, whatever you have, and we all had cooked out that day. And I can still remember what I had on the side of the dream. I had like one of this white, like this white undershirt. It was like a V-neck, some jean shorts, and some flip-flops. And you know, we was all outside. My little brothers was riding their scooters up and down the street. And next thing you know, I was coming in the house. And everybody that was in the house was sitting on the couch. And they were saying, oh my gosh, like, look what's happening, look what's happening. And as I looked at turned to the TV, I could see the black people of the White House and these black celebrities being detained, be put in these trucks. I don't know where the trucks was taking them, I'm not really too sure. But all I know that I seen them being put in these army trucks and being taken somewhere. It was kind of almost like Schindler's List, but it really wasn't. It took place in a modern era, this era. And all I can remember is going outside. As soon as I went outside, I sat on the step, and all I could see is these big giant army trucks. It was like some kind of tanks sitting right here in the middle of the street. They were controlling both of these blocks. One was down there, one was right here in the middle of my street, and the other one was down there. And it was like these Gentiles coming out of them. And all I could see was they had these guns, and they just all circled around the block saying, please stay indoors, do not move. I was frightened for my life. Like, all I can remember is me crying in my dream. And we were trying to calm my mom down, my little brothers, and my cousins. We was all outside. We was just sitting on the step. We couldn't believe this was happening. And next thing you know, this lady, she comes outside. My neighbor, she comes outside and said that she had to feed her children because they was hungry. The man told her to get back in the house because they wouldn't allow people outside around that time. They had to tell her to stay on top of her stoop, but she kept on walking. And she said that, listen, my children is hungry, can I please give them something, or do y'all have some water or something? And next thing you know, they just shot her in the head. I don't know what kind of gun was. Did they shoot her with? I'm not familiar with guns. All I know, they just shot her in the head, and they just killed her, just point blank. And I mean, it was just like so realistic. I couldn't believe it. Like when I really woke up, I couldn't believe that I had like this dream. And as soon as they shot her, all I remember is grabbing my little brothers, putting them in the house, and my mom tried to grab all her friends, and we was all just had to go in the house as soon. And people was worried about their kid, saying, "What's going to happen to my kids? What's going to happen to my kid?" And all I remember is blocking the front door and sitting down, and we were just frightened for our life. And as we was looking outside, you could see all these minorities, I call them minorities, or all these Hebrew people of Hebrew descent being shot and killed, and bodies lined up all on the sidewalk. And I mean, it was just like so realistic. Like when I finally woke up from this dream, it like really brought tears to my eyes how realistic this dream was. And all I could see is people crying of sorrow and pain of losing their family members. And nobody never came for their dead bodies. And next thing you know, the army people was coming right here on my stoop, coming to my house, and trying to knock on my door. And next thing you know, we had to run down the basement, and we had to and we had to lock the basement door. And all I can remember is hearing them breaking down my front door and trying to come in and get my family. And that's when we had to left out from the bed, and my mom told me to take my brothers and my sister and run straight. I just was like losing it because I couldn't believe this was happening, and it was so realistic. And that's when when my mom told me to leave, go straight. I can remember my stepdad in the dream holding my mom because she was out of it. And me and my sister, we went to go run. And all I could see when I looked back was my mom and my aunt and being detained and be put in these army trucks. But anyway, we ran straight, and all I could see is like this dust, like some kind of the ashes from the sky dropping. It was dropping like snow, but the ashes was like the same color as the ash from the incense, and it was dropping out of the sky like snow. How they had the Jewish concentration camp or the Holocaust, and all I could see was these big giant army trucks or these mad dog robots coming after us, but we still had to run. And we was running for our dear life, and all I could see was my sister and my brothers and my cousins being detained behind me, and they got taken to the concentration camp. And the last person, and all I can remember is myself running in a dream, trying to get to some place. I don't know where I was going, but I was just running straight, and I was crying because I couldn't believe our family just got detained. And next thing you know, I just heard like the men. They came one standing right here on my left side, the other one standing right here on my right side. They came, grabbed me by my arm. These two big giant Gentile men grabbed me by my arm. I'm up here on the ground. They had me pulling me like this, like I'm a prisoner. And they took me to it seemed like they were taking me to this truck. But all I can remember is this beautiful singing. I mean, it was like a beautiful singing voice, and all I can remember is these things singing. And next thing you know, I saw like this big giant light, and I was right there by this river or the ocean, and all I can remember is this big giant light and these Malachim. You know, y'all call them angels, y'all call them Malachim. All I can remember is they coming down with these ships, not spaceships, but ships as you get on, like when you go on the cruise. So as soon as I was coming, and they were singing "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, come and carry me home." This is the song they were singing, and all I can remember is that these plagues just start coming, and ate the Gentile. I got these locusts or something. I don't know. I can't really remember because it happened like a long time ago. But all I can remember is something ate these Gentile men, and as soon as I looked back, I heard this great multitude of people marching, coming towards the ships, and I mean it wasn't thousands, it was millions of people coming marching to the ships. And all I can remember is these women, they had like the garments covered over their face with all white on, and these nose bracelets, these nose rings that came all the way down to their knees, legs, and these big hoop earrings. I mean, it was so beautiful. The men dressed in this fine gold and this fine linen, and that's all I can remember. And I looked and I saw my family, and I said, "Oh my gosh, y'all escaped! Y'all escaped!" And they said, "Yeah, we escaped. It's time for us to go home." And as soon as that happened, all you could see is we got on the ship. I got my gold, whatever, and I got on the ship and we left. And it was probably 5 ships, and millions of us got on the ships and we left, and we went to we just left. I don't know where we was going. It seemed like to me that now, since I know the truth, we was going to the wilderness. But it seemed like that we just left. I don't know where we was going, and that's my dream. And peace, shalom.